Armies around the world were left in shock after witnessing an emotional moment at the military base. Jungkook and Taehyung were seen embracing tightly, as if they never wanted to let go. However, their expressions conveyed something deeper, an indescribable sadness. I asked, this truly a farewell? Why did Jungkook seem so reluctant to leave Taehyung? What is really going on between them? Behind their long-standing warm friendship, something left armies full of questions. Here's the full story. Emotional atmosphere at the military base. Jungkook arrived without security that day. The military base seemed to be operating as usual. Soldiers carried out their duties as normal until a black car slowly approached the main gate. When the car door opened, a man dressed in all black stepped out with firm strides. Though his face was partially covered by a mask and cap, it was unmistakably Jungkook. What shocked everyone even more was that he came alone, without any security or staff. His presence immediately caught attention, especially when, from inside the base, Taehyung appeared with an expression that was hard to read. His eyes widened, as if he couldn't believe that Jungkook was truly standing in front of him. But what puzzled armies even more was his somber expression. Very different from his usual bright demeanor when meeting Jungkook. Something was different this time. As the distance between them closed, Taehyung couldn't hold back his emotions. Without saying a word, he pulled Jungkook into a tight embrace. But this wasn't just an ordinary hug. His shoulders trembled, his voice was caught in his throat, and his hands clutched Jungkook's back as if refusing to let go. Then, the unexpected happened. Taehyung began to cry. Not just silent tears, but a deep, heart-wrenching sob. Jungkook, who initially tried to stay strong, eventually showed his emotions as well. He gently patted Taehyung's back, whispering something that no one else could hear. However, one thing was clear. Both of them were overwhelmed with sadness. The surrounding soldiers remained silent, witnessing this touching moment. After what felt like an eternity, Jungkook finally started to pull away from the embrace. With a small, forced smile, he reached out to wipe away Taehyung's tears. But then, he said something that made the moment even heavier. "I have to go now." Taehyung's expression changed again. His eyes welled up, his lips quivered, and he gazed at Jungkook with an expression full of meaning. Jungkook, however, only responded with a faint smile before finally stepping away toward his seat. As the car drove off, Taehyung remained standing still. He didn't immediately return to the barracks, nor did he wipe his tears. He simply stood there, watching Jungkook's car disappear into the distance, as if refusing to believe that this was really a farewell. Some fellow soldiers patted his shoulder in comfort, but his empty gaze left armies feeling his pain. After the moment went viral, countless speculations arose among fans. Jungkook leaving for a long time. Some armies believe that Jungkook is about to leave Korea for an extended period. It's possible that he'll be focusing on his solo projects or has a packed schedule that will prevent him from visiting Taehyung anytime soon. Taehyung facing a difficult situation. Others speculate that Taehyung is going through something serious and Jungkook is deeply worried about him. His intense crying suggests that he may be carrying a heavy burden. There a hidden truth. A more controversial theory suggests that there's something the public isn't being told. Why did Jungkook seem so reluctant to leave? Why did Taehyung appear so devastated? Armies can't help but wonder, is there a big revelation yet to come? Following the incident, Jungkook finally made a brief statement. I know many people are wondering about that moment, but all I can say is it was very meaningful. However, what made fans even more curious was when he added, "I hope everyone understands that sometimes there are things we can't share right now." His words only deepened the mystery. What really happened? Why were they so emotional? Is there something bigger that's about to be revealed? For now, there has been no further explanation regarding this emotional farewell. However, one thing is certain. Jungkook and Taehyung's bond is deeper than many could ever imagine. Armies can only hope that this isn't the end of their story, but rather the start of something even greater. And perhaps, one day, they will reunite. not in tears or sadness, but in greater happiness. The news of Jungkook and Taehyung's emotional farewell has left armies worldwide in shock. The heartbreaking hug, the silent tears, and the heavy emotions. Was this truly a moment of genuine sorrow, or is there something more behind it? Many fans believe that this was a real and deeply emotional moment between two close friends who have been through everything together. However, others are starting to question, is this really what happened, or is it just another exaggerated story created to generate media buzz? Did Jungkook and Taehyung actually share such an emotional farewell, or is the narrative being manipulated to stir emotions? Could this be a carefully crafted story to attract attention, or is there truth behind the viral images and claims? The reactions to this news have been mixed. While some armies wholeheartedly believe that this was a genuine and private moment that happened away from the cameras, others are skeptical. Some key arguments from both sides. Many fans argue that the intensity of Taehyung's expression and Jungkook's comforting gestures couldn't be staged. They point out that these two share a deep bond, and parting ways, especially when one is in the military, could naturally trigger such an emotional reaction. Others believe that while Jungkook did visit Taehyung, the emotions might not have been as dramatic as portrayed. Some speculate that the news outlets twisted the narrative, turning a casual meetup into a heartbreaking farewell. To generate more clicks, a group of skeptical fans question whether the story was crafted simply to stir emotions and drive engagement. Some point out that there is no official footage or confirmed reports from reliable sources, only viral images and speculative articles. So, which is it? A genuine, heartfelt farewell, or just another case of sensationalized reporting? This situation brings up an important question. How much of what we read online is real? In today's digital age, news can spread within seconds, whether it's true or not. Photos can be taken out of context, rumors can be exaggerated, and narratives can be shaped to fit a dramatic storyline. When we see an emotional moment like this, we need to ask ourselves, is this based on real, verifiable evidence? Are there any official sources confirming what happened? Could this be a narrative created just to generate clicks and engagement? As fans, it's easy to get swept up in emotions, especially when it comes to beloved idols like Jungkook and Taehyung. But at the same time, it's important to be critical and question what we read. Now, we turn question to you, Army. Do you believe this emotional farewell actually happened, or is it just a media stunt? Have you seen any credible sources confirming this event? Do you think emotional stories like this are sometimes created just to grab attention? Are we too quick to believe everything we read about our idols? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's discuss whether this news is fact, fiction, or somewhere in between.